Colorado defensive back Ben Finnesseth says he has seen Deion Sanders in the football building constantly this offseason. Now that he feels the presence of his high-profile coach a year after Sanders was mostly gone in the spring and summer while undergoing treatment for bladder cancer, Finnesseth figures it's time for the players to show some leadership. The sixth-year senior suggested that was lacking on the way to a 3-9 finish last season, which left the Buffaloes with a 16-21 record in 3 seasons under Sanders. The thing with last year was we just didn't have the players that wanted to lead and were willing to lead, and it starts with me, Finnesseth said at Big 12 Media Days Tuesday. I didn't feel confident enough in myself. After getting this past year under my belt and gaining some confidence, knowing I can play at this level, it significantly helped me. The guys that stayed from this past season, it irritated us the fact that there was no leadership. And we were like, this is not going to happen again. Sanders, who recently declared himself cancer-free and feeling like his old self, wasn't interested in revisiting his second losing season with the Buffs. But he nodded in agreement over Finnesseth's notion of a player-led team. I'm loving everything I've seen in the spring, Sanders said. I'm loving everything that we added. I'm loving what we did in the portal. I'm loving what we're doing recruiting-wise. We're right where we want to be, and we're going to get even better. Tight end Zach Atkins, a Colorado newcomer a year ago after 3 seasons at Northwest Missouri State, didn't specifically call out the leadership from 2025. He went with the more generic notion of getting everybody on the same page, and addressed how that might happen. I think it starts now, Atkins said. I think it starts with all the work that we've put in since January. All the lifting days, all the conditioning days, all the player-led practices, all that stuff. Receiver Danny Scudero is new to the Buffs after spending last season at San Jose State and the previous 2 at Sacramento State of the FCS. It didn't take Sanders long to suggest that the Bay Area product could fill a leadership role immediately for a program that has experienced dramatic swings, both in season and between seasons. I feel like I can definitely be a guy that a lot of my teammates can count on and just being a consistent guy for them, Scudero said. Because a lot of teams have a lot ups and downs, and in times of need you can look to a guy to kind of be a steady guy. I feel I can fit into that position. Finnesseth doesn't want to underestimate the presence of Sanders. When it was suggested that there would be proverbial chips on the shoulders of players but not on those of their highly decorated coach, who is a Pro Football Hall of Fame cornerback, Finnesseth shot back quickly. And you say that he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He does, Finnesseth said. Because he's a competitor and he's just as irritated as we are. Like I said, this is the most I've ever seen him. He's probably sleeping in the facilities, if we're being completely honest. In the interest of team building, Finnesseth said he and 3 newcomers, fellow defensive back Cree Thomas, defensive end Balansama Kamara and Scudero, pooled their money to buy a fishing boat for $400 on Facebook. Yeah, it's a canoe with a trolling motor, so it's not very good, Finnesseth said. The idea was to give guys a chance to catch a fish, or ride a horse or a four-wheeler. Finnesseth mentioned a trip to Sanders' ranch not far from Dallas, where he spent 5 of his 14 NFL seasons with the Cowboys. We've just been taking guys out to do things they've never done, and seeing the light in their eyes, Finnesseth said. It's like you can't take that away from someone. And showing them that you care enough to take them to do something like that, it's really a cool feeling. It has Finnesseth feeling better about the team's leadership.